It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And coming up next, we'll see Kenneth Walker, your standard at running back this season, pacing the league in rushing. It's the Seahawks and the Rams, just ahead on EA Sports.
It's the National Football League, presented by EA Sports. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Charles, you look at the Seahawks team as they get ready here. They're halfway home, looking good, and a perfect 8-0.
And not much to complain about so far, is there? I'd have to say they're the best team in the NFL through the first half of the year.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Rams, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
In motion, the tight end. Going to be taken in here by Nakua. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. A shotgun snap for Stafford. He'll find a man over the middle, Tutu Atwell. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Now Stafford. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Pass complete there to Nakua. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it's second down. When you talk about this Seahawk defense, they've shown the ability to play tough against the pass, currently ranked number 9 in the NFL.
And it's really difficult to prepare for this team. This is the #1 overall passing team in the NFL, but it shouldn't be hard to get excited about playing against them. The ultimate test going against that unit.
And that's why you and I are excited to broadcast this game.
Yes, sir.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing again is Stafford. That's caught. It's Tutu Atwell. And he's down into the red zone at the 16 after a gain of 16. 1st and 10. They'll run it for the first time with Williams. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Kobe Bryant makes the stop on that one. 2nd and 9. Here's Stafford. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete. Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive, but this is 3rd down. To throw is Stafford. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
Smart move to throw that one away. You're in field goal range, so you definitely don't want to be loose with the ball. And that's great work by this defense to force a 4th down.
And this one is right through. And the Rams have the first points here. It's 3-0. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. The Seahawks set to go on offense here, and it is the Pro Bowler Geno Smith at quarterback, Charles, in his 12th NFL season.
And I think if you ask most folks to give you their first half MVP, Very likely they're going to say it's this man right here. The NFL's leader in touchdown passes. To this point in the season, still 2 months to go. But if he can keep going to the pace he's at, this is going to be a dangerous team come January, and he could very well walk away with the MVP.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. 3rd and 2. So, CD, you look at this offense and what they've been able to do. 8-0, perfect through the first 2 months of the year. Second half of the season still to come. We get that. But what kind of a percentage chance do you think that they have of running the table?
Partner, I think it's hard to say because history would tell us that the chances aren't good at all. We've seen a lot of good teams get to this point, and then they have that one bad week and takes them out of the running. I'm going to say 25%, and I feel like I'm being generous with that number.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. $3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Play action. It's Smith. Flushed out right. And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on. Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Now to the ground. Here's Walker. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. They'll try for the first with Walker. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 45 yards rushing for him on their opening drive of the contest, and it's now 1st and goal. Out of the gun, Smith. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Kenneth Walker with his 14th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their 2nd drive of the game. And they dipped a game below 500 following the loss last week. And you get the sense that maybe this team's at a little bit of a crossroads here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it, because what's that old malaprop? If you come to a fork in the road, take it. Because this crew, they're losing ground fast. They've got to start winning some ball games. And the good teams, they're starting to separate themselves, and these guys are being left behind.
Now Stafford. Now, quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. Connecting with Kupp here on the out route. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll be 4th down. So on 4th down, on is Ethan Evans to punt for the Rams. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 20. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seahawks offense and their quarterback coming out for their second drive. And as we transition into the second half of the season, he continues to put up big numbers on a consistent basis. Currently the NFL's leader in passing as we play here in the month of November. Going deep for Diggs. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he is in for a Seattle touchdown. Stephon Diggs with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Extra point up and through by Myers, and that pushes the lead up to 11. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. Well, now how about this return? And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. So good field position for the Rams as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Throwing is Stafford. That one out wide and intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made before. Didn't happen to get it completed in this case.
Back out now comes Kenneth Walker in the Seattle offense. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. And this is caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Jackson Smith and Jigba. 43 yards. And the Seahawks are able to extend their lead. Myers connects on the PAT. And the lead is up to 18 now. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. LA set to take over again on offense. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me,
oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground, and the Seahawks have picked it up. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line. Make it 2 weeks in a row now. He's kind of been Johnny on the spot. A fumble recovered last week, and now 2 in a row.
Reminds me a little bit of an old teammate of mine. We used to call him the Vulture, because he would swoop in and clean up after the play was made. But boy, we said it with a lot of affection, because he made a lot of game-changing plays by getting to the football that had been knocked loose.
What was your nickname, by the way?
Can you go get me some water, guy, please? The rest of us are playing.
Right. Too humble. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Following the fumble recovery, Smith. He completes this to Walker. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 5-yard line.
Here's Walker. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Ken Walker, his second touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Seahawks are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point up and through by Myers. And a rout is on here in this first half. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it was Kenneth Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
But this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Stafford. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Stafford now to throw. Now that'll be caught by Cup. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45.
And the Seahawks add a couple of extra DBs going with the dime look here.
Indeed, 6 on the field. Now it's Stafford. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 45-yard line. Here's Stafford. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. And defensively, maybe an opportunity missed there.
No doubt about it. When that ball's out, all you're thinking about as a defender is this is our chance to make a huge play. Instead, he's able to recover his own fumble. And big sigh of relief.
Yeah, usually those wide receiver fumbles, there's open space around for the defense, but not there. He hops right back on it. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Again, it's Stafford. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them at the end zone as the first half winds down.
Throw right side, complete to Williams. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Stafford. And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Puka Nacua in the final seconds of the first half. And the Rams are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is down to 28-10. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. 4 seconds, all that remain here in this first half as the kick gets away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And with only 4 seconds on the clock, time likely for just one snap of the football. Going deep for Diggs. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We'll start by heading out west, State Farm Stadium in Glendale. And in the second quarter, it's the Bears who are out in front. The Bears trying to hold on and claim victory. From there, we head east to check on the Bills at home in Buffalo. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Miami Dolphins. Josh Allen, excellent in the victory as his guys up their record to 7-2 now on the year. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Lions. Christian Watson, a touchdown reception. It was a strong first half for the former Spartan, Kenneth Walker. He had a nose for the end zone as he wound up with 2 touchdowns on the ground in those first 2 quarters. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly. Both these teams going through their final adjustments before heading back out of the locker room. Time for us to go back out to Lumen Field, where we rejoin Brandon Gott.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Seahawks offense and Geno Smith headed back out for this next possession. And he's building his case for MVP consideration with each passing week. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes as we move into the back half of the season. It's a pickup before, and it'll bring up second down. Sticking with Walker on second down. And he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32. 3rd and 4. From the gun, here's Smith. And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Now a hit and a loose football. And it looks like the defense has got it. Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Cup.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
Stafford going to give this one to Corum. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he'll be down at the 6-yard line. Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half. And down 3 scores, a lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
Well, it reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to try and win this one.
And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. 68 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. Now they send a man in motion right. He's going to handle it on the touch pass. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Jackson Smith-Njigba with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks are able to capitalize on the forced fumble by turning it into 6 points. So they're able to capitalize there on the short field, and that might prove to be the score that turns out the lights.
The party's over. Oh, sorry about that. That's an old reference there, folks. But, yeah, they've been the better of the two teams by far, and that's great complimentary football right there. Defense gets the turnover, sets up the short field, and the offense goes right out and scores to open up a pretty sizable lead.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they can't bring him down. And able to get this out to the 25. The Rams offense and Matthew Stafford set to take over once again. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets. And it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. Jumping all the way from the outside, maybe getting a little early start in the corner blitz.
And the only time it makes sense to get that penalty is exactly as you described. Otherwise, he should never get that penalty.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. Back to throw, Stafford.
Going to be taken in here by Nakua.
9 yards that time.
Complete to number 17, Nakua. A gain of 9 yards. First down, Los Angeles.
Corum now on 1st and 10.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Now Stafford. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey.
And the Seahawks are going to take over at their own 11-yard line.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turnover 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing, but I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
Kenneth Walker headed back out there.
He is hoping to find the end zone for a 3rd time, and we sit now in the 3rd quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. He'll buy some time right.
Now he's loose again.
And finally taken down at the 34. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
I am willing to bet that he got a monster grin on his face when he saw what was happening. Mancubs was so committed to denying the big throw that it pulled attention away from him, and he had an easy lane to hit, and hit it he did.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
And the Rams got it. They bring him down. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on 1st down to set him back on 2nd. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. A shotgun snap for Smith. Looking downfield for Jones. And this is caught. It's a big play there for Seattle. 43 yards. first and goal when we come back. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Now they bring a receiver in motion right.
He'll get an opportunity with it on the touch pass.
And that's a touchdown, but hold on. There is a flag down on the field. We'll have to see what this is about. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way?
Touchdown! Noah Fant, an 11-yard touchdown.
And the Seahawks add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up the secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Myers connects on the PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one.
The football going back to the Rams now.
And this group has suffered far too many self-inflicted wounds thus far as we run through some of the mistakes. It's darn near impossible to win in this league when you're turning the ball over at the frequency that they have.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Back to throw now on first down. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield of man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. Under pressure, and down he goes. Leonard Williams. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
So now Stafford and the Rams, after the sack, they're staring up at a 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll get this one to Cup, complete.
Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that'll bring up 4th down. They snap it to Stafford. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out.
Back to Walker on 1st down.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle.
Kenneth Walker.
An 8-yard touchdown run.
And the Seahawks are on their way to a 9-0 start as they build on to their lead.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Yeah, they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's Stafford. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Out of the gun, Stafford. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 30. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Play action. Stafford. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. So nothing doing there, and that will bring up 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Rams football here as we get your reset.
Here's 2nd and 10.
They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Throwing again is Stafford. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 19.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
Off of play action. Here's Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Now Stafford. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. To throw is Stafford. And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The home team's offense and Kenneth Walker set to take over once more. And as we roll through some of the highlights, we see how crucial he's been to their success in this one. When he's in this type of a groove and his offensive linemen are creating running lanes for him, he can really put on a show, and he's done so here. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Throwing now, Smith. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Geno.
He'll let this go deep for Smith and Jigba.
And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And how about this, a fake? And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Stafford.
One last shot at the end zone. And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on. 2nd and 10.
One last throw here for Stafford. He's going to let it fly. And this is dropped it incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone as time has run out on this ball game.
So the victory here for Seattle.
And we talk so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They looked like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams, right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.